So we're coming at this from a number of different angles. But the first is, what can we do on the technology side to reduce the amount of false news on Facebook? And just, I want to be 100% clear, we do not want false news on Facebook. It is not in our interest. It is not what our community wants. Nobody wants to be deceived. So it is in our interest to get this off the platform. So what we found on the technology side is actually that most of it is financially driven, not politically motivated. So you may see political stories, but it's driven by people who are trying to make money. So they'll throw up a pro-Bernie Sanders story. If that doesn't make them money, they'll switch it and throw up a pro-Donald Trump story. So if it's financially driven, then on the technology side, our engineers can do things to try to disrupt their financial incentives. So, I mean, basically, what happens is you'll see a link, and it'll be kind of a clickbaity headline. You'll click on it, and it'll take you to what we call ad farms, where it's just nothing but ads, and they're trying to get you to click on that link so they make money. So if we can disrupt their financial incentives, that goes a long way to getting a lot of the junk off the platform. And it's very similar to how Facebook went after spammers. So there's a lot of knowledge there, and I think there's going to be a lot of progress there very quickly. The bigger challenge, I think, is when you have individuals, groups, organizations, governments that are trying to use the platform to manipulate civic dialogue in some way. And there, we put out a white paper on this after the election that examined, what we thought was going on. And for us, that has meant our security teams really ramping up to try to deal with fake accounts, to go after these fake accounts, identify, what they are, who they are, what's going on, and get them off the platform, eliminate them. So that's a different way of attacking the problem. Then, sort of on the outside of that, is work around fact-checking, which is kind of a backstop, is working with third-party fact-checking groups to allow people to flag stories that they think might be false or misleading, and then have third-party fact-checking groups downrank that or give a notice to it saying this is a misleading story. Think before you share it, basically. There's one other element to this, and this is kind of a little bit wonky, but in terms of how we do ranking, there's certain signals that newsfeed, which is where you see all your stories, can look at, and this is about trying to get lower quality, clickbaity kind of stories down here, sensationalism, and quality news up here. And it's without us saying, well, you're quality and you're not. Because I don't think people want us to do that. But there are things we can do where we'll look at the amount of time someone spent on a story. So we're like, oh, wow, on David Leonhardt's story, 8 minutes. They spent 8 minutes on this story. But on this story, they spent 8 seconds. It's more likely to be trash or clickbait if they only spent 8 seconds on that story than if they spent 8 minutes. So that's a signal that can tell you it's more likely to be quality. So there are a lot of these kind of signals. They examine, what's in a headline that will try to downrank the stuff that's not great and elevate stuff, hopefully, that's of higher quality.